So we got some March Madness already, baby. So this is always a fun time in basketball when we have these upsets going on, and I'm here to talk about one of them. But before we start, this is Coach Muhammad with Hoop Symmetry, and I wanted to talk about this game, this upset I saw between High Point and Wisconsin, because to me, this upset was significant for many different reasons in just watching it, because I really feel like High Points 1 through 3 are pretty much as good as almost anyone in the country in terms of people that they can provide in that regard. When I was watching this game, Wisconsin had definitely bigs that were way better than High Point. That was, to me, the main difference. When you talk about guys like Austin Rapp was giving them some great minutes. We talk about John Blackwell. They had bigger guys. Like, their guys were just big. But the guard play 1 through 3, man, like, that was not fluky to me. Like, that was a complete game from many complete players. A couple of guys I want to highlight, starting with their point guard, Rob Martin. Now, Rob Martin is one of those guys which you just see is like a college pro.
Rob Martin was a former teammate of mine. He started his career at Indiana State, where I ended my career. Then he went to SEMO. Now he's at High Point leading a NCAA tournament team. One of the great things about Rob Martin and any small guard is just low leverage he can play on. How low his center of gravity to the floor, you cannot guard him. I swear, he can go by you in a blur, reject ball screens. It makes it so tough to handle just his defense. The things he can bring to the game, kicking out, getting downhill, mid-range pull-ups. We'll see it all in this breakdown, man. But I promise you, he is so difficult to guard.
What I mean by that is not necessarily someone who will have to go on and be an NBA player, even though I do think Rob Martin, man, should maybe get a little bit more looks than, you know, he's considered, especially for like a backup point guard role. He's a little small, but as far as playing the point guard position, I mean, he sees the floor really well. He was scoring the ball well, shot 40% from 3 that game, 9 of 23 overall, so wasn't the most efficient, but had 23 points, 10 assists. He had very active hands. It's not showing any steals on the box score, but I saw him literally at least deflect 2 to 3 balls away and corral them. And the way that he just had the team organized, to me, was very masterful. So I want to give him a shout out. Terry Anderson. So that's like their small forward, I guess. He was a bigger body that was playing on both ends. Didn't have the best game from 3, but you can see the skill. Lefty, very skilled, was able to get downhill, had 11 rebounds, was blocking shots. He gets credit for 1 block and 3 steals. He was playing on both ends, giving them baskets when they needed, getting downhill, attacking closeouts. The guy could play. Like, it didn't look like a guy that was just, you know, having a hot shooting night or anything like that. It was a guy who really could play as a premier forward in college basketball. And then the guy who did have one of the craziest shooting nights, which if you check the tape throughout his season, this is kind of what he does, is Chase Johnston, number 99.
Chase Johnston, load up the Drake for my guy, a real bucket. This is just what he was on yesterday, B-Hen.
Bro, I saw
that is insane.
That's not foreign to him, though. He got a whole tape for the whole year.
My true player comp right here. He ain't shot no 2s all season long, and this is the first one he made right here. This is an amazing moment, too. Yeah. Only layup he's taken made all season long to win the game to advance against Wisconsin, 83-82.
The aura of this guy was insane throughout this game, pulling up from the logo, did not care. Was not scared, clearly, was really helped them in the closing out minutes for their comeback. Scored 14 off the bench, going 4 of 6 from 3. Made his only 2-point field goal of the year, I believe, is what, you know, people were saying on the cast and what people have been saying, to win the game in that leak out layup. And so, I mean, if you have an on-ball point guard who can run the offense, a guy who can come off screens as a movement shooter, as accurate as Chase Johnston, who shot 50% on the year, just pulling up ridiculous threes, and then you have a all-around forward who can score off the bounce, can play off ball and defend, as Terry Anderson. To me, that's about as tough as you get in college basketball from that 1 through 3 position. So they're going up against Arkansas next, and I don't expect them necessarily to win the game because you know, there is the front line of things. I saw some flashes from Cameron Fletcher. He took a lot of shots. He went 5 of 12, but he has some wiggle to his game, you know, can do some things off the dribble, but just a little undersized there. And they don't have a real center. You know, Fletcher and Terry Anderson both led the team in rebounds. And Terry Anderson's their small forward, and Fletcher, like I said, is like a small ball power forward. But that, to me, is probably going to be their Achilles heel. Why I wouldn't pick them to win it. But 1 through 3, man, they can compete with anybody, in my opinion. And this gives light on some of these mid-major guys. I think some of these guys should get more shine. And not necessarily all the way because of like NBA potential in terms of draft stock, but just in terms of how well they play. This is why you can have certain guys like go to open runs and really dominate who no one really hears of, and can really play better than certain guys who are more highly regarded as like prospects for professional play. And so I really wanted to shout out those guys. Cameron Fletcher had a pretty good game. Chase Johnston came off the bench with a heater. Rob Martin ran the team perfectly. Terry Anderson, I love the way he was playing on both ends. Went 1 of 6 from 3, but you know, the skill is there. Yeah, so I think this team can compete in terms of that, especially if they had a big. You know, Wisconsin had bigs for days. They just had one of those guys on the other team. To me, they really could do some things, but I just wanted to give them some love because I think teams like that don't quite get enough shine or recognition for how well the players actually are. Even in terms of March Madness, a lot of times people think they're just upsets, but sometimes they're showing the skill of them. And the coach definitely let people hear about it.
It looks pretty obvious to me that high majors need to play mid majors during the season because they said we ain't played nobody. We played somebody now.
How'd you do it?
Feels unreal. Because I know how good of a team we had, but nobody would play us, just like they wouldn't play Miami, Ohio. But they got to play us in this tournament.
Coach, you were down by 10 early on. What changed?
We just settled in. We settled in. We got a hell of a team. We settled in.
But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about, man. Shout out to High Point University. This is Coach Muhammad, and I'm out.